the call meeting of the regular scheduled meeting of the College of New England Board of Trustees. We welcome you to the Safety Center, the Gulf Coast Safety Center for this meeting. I'd like for you to be invited to stand with me and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag, and then also after that a repeat of that to the pledge to the Texas flag, and then if you will, as a tradition here, stand for a moment of silence prior to your being seated. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. You'll join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. I'll ask the board clerk, please call roll to establish a quorum.
Ronnie McCrary. Here. Rosalie Cutler. Here. Benny Matthews. Here. Wayne Miles.
Here.
Nick Stuchinski.
Here.
Herman Prevost. Here. Ralph Holmes.
Here.
Larry Durham. Jarvis Hollingsworth. Here.
Thank you very much. Get right into the comments from the community. Students, are there any students that would like to make any comments? I've got a number of cards here, but I do not see any students that are listed. Are there employees that would like to make a comment? Dr. Paul Boyd?
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
Good afternoon. I'm here to tell you, teachers are not the problem, we're part of the solution. I am a very proud fourth-generation Texan educator, and none of us got enlisted in the Army, believe me. I can remember growing up, we couldn't go to Whataburger after church on Sundays, because my father, as I said, he didn't teach enough money. I thought Wyatt's cafeteria was for rich people. The point is, we willingly took on sacrifice getting into this profession. We're not the bad guys. But after all these years, just thinking back, my great-grandmother took home promissory notes during the Depression instead of paychecks. She had my groceries on credit. My grandmother, 92 years old, now worries about outliving her money. She's about to. My father retired after years of school teaching, and he now has to supplement his income because he can't make ends meet. My sister at Kilgore High School just went half-time because she can't take the pressure anymore from the administration. She just went half-time. She's a really good math teacher. So after all these years, the point is we're not getting either the respect or adequate compensation that I feel we deserve. By way of example, it's been said publicly that just a few troublemakers are complaining. Now, I'm about the farthest thing from the troublemaker anybody's ever heard of. So if I'm standing up here talking before you, something's gone horrendously wrong. I'm speaking on behalf of over 100 people who are really, really upset. It should be alarming to you that professors and department chairs who 6 months ago were saying, if anybody writes a bad letter to the paper, let's fire them. Now they're writing letters. These are the very people. That should be very alarming. It alarms me because I'm really concerned about our institution. It's also been said that the approach has been negative and that, as they say, is factually inaccurate. A committee of 7 appointed by the entire faculty, not just a little group, but appointed by the entire faculty body to approach the board and the president. They were charged with opening some friendly channels. That's what we tried to do. Here's a part of the email that reflects the positive tone we took. Building dignified trust and goodwill that a college must have in order to thrive is top priority. Continuous communication between the board and faculty staff is a much better way to deal with our in-house issues than airing everything in public. The response was what was shockingly negative. An immediate and very harsh reprimand saying that we actually violated policy by just trying to talk to you. The email referred us to policy BBE local. It says if we bring a concern to an individual board member, then we should be referred to the president. I'd like to point out that we didn't bring it to an individual board member. We brought concerns to a committee appropriately. Read further in the policy, it says the board may address concerns that have no administrative remedy. That's what we were told, that there was no remedy. So that was our concern. I want to further point out the policy BBF, board member ethics. This is your own policy that you took on for yourselves. Point 7, it says, seek systematic communications between the board and student, staff, and community. Communication is a two-way street. Expression is one way. So what we did, seeking systematic communications, was actually called for by your own core policy. I'm here today to formally seek communications again. We genuinely want to be part of the solution. Now, growing up, we all learned a very hard lesson, which is that just because your next door neighbor, your friend, does something, it doesn't make it right for you. We all learned that. It wasn't easy. Our committee found that Comm's immediate service area has some of the most challenged ISDs in the entire state, if not the country, including, for example, Lamarck and Hitchcock. Both of these are rated academically unacceptable. That's the lowest category of 4. That puts them in the lowest 3% in the entire state. The other ones, Dickinson, Texas City, Santa Fe, are only 3rd out of 4. They're acceptable. All right. Then, by contrast, Alvin Community College is surrounded by school districts that are exemplary, top category, or recognized. That's number 2. Comm's cost of instruction is high because we are serving the extraordinarily dire need of our surrounding communities. Cutting instruction is like kicking them when they're down already. I know that's a popular thing in Texas, especially from our legislature to do, but it isn't right for our students. We can do better. And teachers, we're all ready to lead the way, but we would like to be treated fairly, with decency. And we'd actually like to talk with you. We're ready to meet and find better solutions together for COM. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd. David Michael Smith.
We're just getting up where we can hear.
Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Dr. David Michael Smith. I'm pleased that the board decided to meet in a larger room today, but disappointed that you moved the meeting off the main campus. This makes it harder for employees to attend and for community members who didn't see the notice or hear about the change. Nonetheless, as you can see, there are quite a few of us here again today. Tomorrow I'm going to send the Galveston County Daily News a response to yesterday's column by Dr. Durrance. My column will challenge his and your handling of statistics on the budget situation and show that the layoffs and faculty pay cuts are the product of a very bad political decision, not a genuine financial emergency. But this afternoon I'd like to talk not so much about the economics, but I'd like to challenge a couple of really extraordinary fabrications in Dr. Durrance's column and share a couple of pieces of related information which confirm the old adage that truth is the first casualty in politics. First, when Dr. Durrance suggests that only a small number of people oppose the layoffs and pay cuts, he's simply not telling the truth, and everyone knows it. This is what Paul was trying to say more diplomatically. Our union has more than 125 members. The Faculty Senate represents more than 100 professors. There's some overlap, but both groups' opposition to the board's action were democratically determined by the members in accordance with the respective bylaws. Everybody knows most people disagree with you, and a lot of people in the community disagree with you too. Second, when Dr. Durrance claims that several newspaper columns criticizing the layoffs and faculty pay cuts were, quote, orchestrated by a small group of people, again, he's simply not telling the truth. Because both the union and the faculty are large groups of people, it wasn't hard to find colleagues and community members to write on the issue or join us for board meetings. And there's much more to come. Folks, you should really listen to what all these people are telling you. This is no conspiracy. This is what democracy looks like. Third, when Dr. Durrance claims that criticism of the board's recent action is aggressively negative, he's both inaccurate and misleading. Recent colleagues have criticized you and Dr. Durrance, but praised the faculty, praised the staff, and praised the college and the quality of education we offer. So exactly for whom is that negative? And what's aggressive about a lot of people agreeing with the staff and the faculty and the union? Frankly, for most of us, it's you and Dr. Durrance who are being, quote, aggressively negative by laying people off and cutting pay when it's not financially necessary. Of course, this is not the first time Dr. Durrance has knowingly, falsely claimed that opposition to extreme policy changes is limited to a small number of people. In March of 2009, on his first visit to Texas, Dr. Durrance blasted me in a campus-wide email for the union's challenge to the grievance policy. What did he say then? Well, I remember, only a small group of people are opposing the new policy. Of course, that wasn't true then either, now was it? And many of you know the rest of the story. The union eventually filed a lawsuit, the grievance regulation and non-renewal policy were changed, the lawsuit was settled. What's not so widely known that I want to share with the public today is that before the board approved that new illegal grievance policy in December 2008, Dr. Durrance sent trustees a memorandum in which he acknowledged, and I quote from the memo, there will be opposition from many people on campus. Many people, he said to the board, just a few troublemakers, he said to the employees. Indeed, think about the implications. He wasn't just dishonest in 2009 about the opposition to the grievance change. Your colleague, Dr. Durrance, yesterday, simply not honest about the opposition, the scale and intensity evoked by the layoffs and pay cuts. In closing, I'd like to point out that Dr. Durrance himself has inadvertently but unequivocally admitted that what's really driving the board majority is not the budget, but politics. Before the May 30th board meeting, the faculty committee met with Dr. Durrance and expressed deep concern about the board's recent actions and approach to the budget. This is what Paul was speaking of. When pressed on the issue of some trustees desiring a tax cut, even the interim president admitted this motivation is, and I'm quoting Dr. Durrance, not rational. Moreover, Dr. Durrance actually used the P word to describe these trustees' motivation. Yes, he did. He admitted their motivation was political. You need not take my word on that. Each of the professors there recalls the discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this kind of bad politics, this kind of bad management, bad treatment of faculty and staff, this is what most people in the community are sick and tired of. They're not sick and tired of fair pay and decent treatment of the faculty and staff. They're tired of this stuff instead. And as more and more people learn about the entire budget situation, you expect support for us to grow. You should really sit down and talk with us.